How's it going, everyone? So after the loss to the New York Giants, the path to the playoffs has become a bit more tight for the Packers if we're trying to go for a playoff berth, and even if you're looking still at the NFC North title. But if the season ended today, they would end up being the 7th seed, which would still get them into the playoffs as a wildcard team, and we would play the Cowboys. Now, of course, luckily, it doesn't end today, but it'd be interesting if we did play the Cowboys. So, as you can see here are the top 11 teams pretty much of the NFC playoff race. 49ers are currently in first, Cowboys second, Detroit Lions are third, the Bucks are at 4, the Eagles at 5 because they lost to the Cowboys, and then the Vikings 6 with the Packers at 7. And then in the hunt we have the Rams, Seahawks, Falcons, and Saints also all at 6 and 7 with us. And we won the tiebreaker because, well, we beat the Rams head-to-head, and we also beat the Saints head-to-head. Now, Seattle gets to 9 and doesn't hop over 8 because the Rams beat the Seahawks. And then the Rams beat the Falcons. There's a lot going on there because we're all 6 and 7. Yeah, we beat a couple of these teams, but then the Falcons beat us. It's very weird. But as of right now, we are placed 7th. And that's pretty much what we need to know. We're at 7. And so the first team we want to lose is the Minnesota Vikings. We always want the Minnesota Vikings to lose, so this is kind of a no-brainer. But them losing pretty much helps increase our odds in jumping them and obtaining the 6th seed of the playoffs. And if we did get the 6th seed at the end of the week 17, we pretty much would be playing the Detroit Lions most likely, which could be a better matchup for us. And as for who the Vikings are playing, they are playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's also looking like Jake Browning's going to be good to go for the Bengals, which is good because that means a higher chance the Vikings lose, because Browning's actually been pretty good in the absence of Joe Burrow. So they actually have a good chance of losing this game, which increases our odds. Next, the second team we would want to lose once again is the Los Angeles Rams. They're tied with us at 6 and 7, and we'd obviously want them to lose to kind of create more separation. Because as of right now, separation is the focal point of teams we want to lose because there are a lot of teams that are 6 and 7, and the tiebreaker rules, they can go either way depending on who wins and who loses which games. So to make it simple, the Rams have to lose. They are playing the Washington Commanders. There is a low chance that the Rams do lose against the Commanders this weekend, but any given Sunday, because I thought the same thing with the Bears and Lions game, and look how that turned out. Now, next, the third team we want to lose is the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are, once again, same thing with the Rams, tied at 6 and 7 with us, and pretty much all the teams on this list outside of Vikings are 6 and 7. So the Seahawks, they are currently on a slump. They've been losing a lot of games, but they are also on the toughest part of their schedule. They played the 49ers twice, they played the Cowboys, and now this Monday, they're going to be playing against the Eagles. Eagles lost. They're still a very good team. They're going to look to rebound to try to get another W and try to win their division. So this is no easy game for the Seahawks. And I do feel like the Eagles are going to end up winning this game, which would end up in obviously a Seahawks loss helping us. And this would create the separation that we need from the Seahawks. Because as of right now, we never played the Seahawks, so we don't actually have any type of head-to-head tiebreaker. And so we'll be rooting for the Eagles, which I do a little begrudgingly because I am in the Philadelphia area, and Eagle fans they're fans. Next, the fourth team we would want to lose is the Atlanta Falcons. Now, we do not own the tiebreaker against the Falcons as they did beat us, so let's not try to end up in a tie with the Falcons in any capacity, especially in a head-to-head manner. So we want the Falcons to lose. Unfortunately, they are playing the Carolina Panthers this week, so it's very unlikely that the Falcons drop this game. So we're going to be rooting for them the entire season, either to drop all their games, or maybe, the Bucks drop all their games and the Falcons win. So then the Falcons would hop into divisional leader, and then we'll create separation for the Bucks from the Bucks. But for this week, since the Falcons are currently vying in a wild card spot, we're going to root for them to lose. And then lastly, the team we want to lose is the New Orleans Saints. We do own the tiebreaker against the Saints since we did beat them head to head. So, being tied with them is not the worst deal in the world, but this whole point is to create separation. So we want the Saints to lose, and they have a decent chance at that because, well, the Saints have not really been looking like a great team, and they are playing against the New York Giants. And yes, the Giants beat us, and they're on the midst of a kind of a hot streak for them. And I do see the Saints dropping this game against the Giants. So out of all the teams we want to lose, I see 3 of them actually losing. The Falcons and the Rams, though, that's going to be tough in my opinion. Now, that part right there was just for getting a playoff berth. But if you're still looking at trying to win the divisional title and be king of the North again, that's not entirely out the realm of possibility. Like, there are only 3 things that really need to happen, and it's got a decent chance, especially with how the schedule's laying out and how the teams are currently playing. So the first one is the biggest one. We need to win out. We need to win every game. If we don't win out, then it's going to pretty much decrease the chances and almost make it impossible. The second thing we would need is that the Vikings need to lose 2 of their next 4 games. One of them against any other opponent, and the other one preferably by the Packers. And it should be by the Packers, because if we do that, then we would have a better divisional record, and then we would hop them, especially since we're currently on the trend of hopping them if we went out and the Vikings kind of lose their next couple of games. Then the third thing is the Lions. Last week, they only needed to lose 2 games. Now they need to lose 3 games, which is not outside the realm of possibility. The Lions are falling. They're playing the Broncos, who's having a resurgence. They play the Vikings twice. They're not doing very good against the divisional rivals, and it's still the Vikings. And then they also play the Cowboys in the middle of that. So the Lions could drop 3 of these 4 games. And if all that were to happen, we would somehow be NFC North title divisional winners again, and that'd be very shocking, especially with how we played against the Giants. But as we've seen with this team, very up and down, and it's just shaping up to where it's a potential. That about wraps up who we'll be rooting against for this weekend, and also the possibilities of us becoming NFC North title divisional winners again. As of right now, we only have a 50% chance of making the playoffs, but of course, with every win and the losses that we have with these teams, increases our odds. But we still need to just take care of our own business and win, because we can just win out and most likely make the playoffs. That has a 96% chance of happening. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you like the video? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go.